So my controversial take on budgets, meh, I kind of feel the same way every business owner feels about them. They're okay. Are they important? Yeah, kind of, sorta. And let me start by saying, if you're in the first 2 to 3 years of your business, yeah, do a budget for sure. Especially that first year, you need to kind of get a grasp of what are you looking at as far as expenses. Is it going to be accurate? No, but it will at least give you a baseline of what you can expect. Um, because you're still in that startup phase. You're still just trying to figure it out, and you're going to get hit with expenses that you weren't expecting. So I think a budget is important. Um, do I think a budget is important for a business that's been around for 5 to 10 years? I think it's something you should do. Would I put it high on the list? Not necessarily, but I do think it's something you should do, because what a budget is it's static, meaning you set it up at the beginning of the year, or ideally November, December for January, and you figure out, okay, these are based on what happened last year. Basically, here's the expenses for these categories. I think it's good to go through it, and I would not spend hours on it. I would spend an hour, maybe two. Like, that's it. And it'll help you kind of give a baseline of, okay, in the back of your mind, here's generally what we spend. I think that's where it's important. But overall, a budget is a stagnant report, and you make it, and you're basically taking what happened and going back and looking at where you're at. I don't want to say you're looking in the past, but you are kind of looking in the past, because if you take a budget and you take your numbers, let's say you take your last month, and then you go back to your budget. Well, you made that budget in December or November. A lot can change. I mean, if you're in June or July, a heck of a lot can change from that point. And it can kind of be deflating, it can kind of be discouraging, or it can just be totally out of whack. And at that point, it's not really helping you. So what does help you? I think KPIs and margins help you. And what you do is you base us off of goals. So you say, okay, here's what I want to hit in sales. Here's what I want to hit in my marketing percentage as far as how much I want to spend. Here's what I want to hit in terms of days on inventory, whatever that is for your business. So take those goals. And what I do with clients is I take targets slash goals. And then we look at what happened last month and where do we land based on those goals or targets. That gives you momentum. That keeps you looking into the future. And that's going to get you excited about your business. To be honest, nobody really likes a budget. Let's be real. Nobody likes a budget. But if you start looking at your goals and you start seeing how you're hitting them and where you're hitting them and where you can improve and what you're doing good at and maybe you're not doing so good at, that's what helps. So I focus more on targets and forecasting than I do on budgets. So that's my take on budgets. Hope that helps.